On the guest list, it's Eugene Levy.
I was approached to host a show they called about, it was a show about hotels. It was, I think, called Room with a View. That's what they said. And they wanted me to host it, hotels around the world. And I knew myself, I'm thinking, why me, number one? Because I'm really not, I don't hate traveling, I just don't love traveling. And I'm not a curious person. I have no great sense of adventure. So we had a call, and I went through all the reasons why I didn't think I was the right person. And I'm trying to keep the conversation light, so it's not a heavy thing. And I'm getting laughs on the other end of the phone. What I didn't know was they got on the phone after that conversation and said, "That's the show. That's the show. That's the personality of the show. It's a show about hotels and cultures and people around the world, but it's with somebody who is not keen on traveling." And so they called back and pitched that, saying that's what we think the show should be. And I said, oh, okay, well, that I get for me. So I don't have to pretend to be somebody hosting a travel show that is apparently a world traveler or loves everything they're doing. I can actually be myself. So I said yes. Well, I'm 76 now, and I've spent my life really saying no to a lot of things. No, I don't want to go there. No, I'd rather not do that. I'm becoming a more enlightened, a more interesting, I guess, person. So don't get caught being stuck in your ways. Don't be in that shell that you just don't want to get out of. Because I'm glad at this point in my life that I had this vehicle where I'm actually doing things, going places, talking to people that I never would have done had I not had the show. So, never say never. Didn't really love the idea of going on safari, because I didn't really making a trip that far just to see these animals that I'd already seen on TV. I know what they look like. Do I need to see them roaming around, in a big field out there somewhere? No, but getting to the Kruger National Park in South Africa, the shocking thing to me was I all of a sudden grew an affinity for not only the landscape of this country but the creatures that were in the landscape. I never thought I would kind of feel that. The sense of danger that these animals are in on a day-to-day basis from poachers and hunters, I truly I felt it in my gut being there, going to a rhino conservancy, uh, and seeing these orphan rhinos and what's happened to them and how they're being tended to and how almost extinct now the rhino population is. That's something that affected me that I truly never thought would affect me before I had this show, certainly before I traveled there. It's me. It's just me in front of a camera. So I have to deal with that because I've never been comfortable being in front of a camera as myself. I've always been on the quieter side of things. I'm just innately a shy person. Always have been, and there's probably a little insecurity running in my body somewhere. So I'm not completely over the reluctant thing, but I'm glad I'm giving it a shot. I'm glad I'm trying things, whether I like them or whether I don't. At least I'm giving it a go. Easy. Just do it. Make the decision that you're just going to do it. Um, That's all it, I mean, that's all it takes. And that's what I'm learning on this show. You may not love everything that you try, but at least you can say you did it. And it's a lot better than just putting up that brick wall and saying, no, I'm not going over there. I'm staying here. It's not a good thing. I'm learning it's a good thing to actually um, try the things that you never would have tried. I'm glad I did it so I can say, yeah, I've been ice fishing in the Arctic. So I quickly had to, adapt to sampling, trying, experimenting, and doing the things that most seasoned travelers would love doing, but not me. So I made the leap from saying no to everything, saying no, I don't even want to try it, to okay, here I am doing it. Some stuff I absolutely loved, and some stuff I didn't. There were a few of them, but it could have been Utah when we went to the Almond-Gary in Utah. And I met a young man, member of the Navajo Nation. Spent time with him. That was stargazing, a really enjoyable evening, listening to how the formation of the stars and what it meant to his people. And then getting to spend another evening with him and his family on their spread in the desert. Truly one of the most memorable nights that I've spent. They were absolutely lovely people, and I had an insight into indigenous people that I haven't really had up to this point in my life. So that was truly one of the most memorable nights that I had. I hope they're going to be seeing like a kindred spirit up there. I mean, what I'm saying and what I'm thinking on the show, I'm sure will echo what they're thinking and what what they would be talking about if they were also in my shoes. So, I mean, I'm hoping that um, they learn what I'm learning on the show enough to the point where they say, you know what? Why don't we give it a go? Why don't we try traveling to this location that we never thought we'd ever want to travel to? That would be great if that happens, because it is a good thing.